What's going on, guys? Joey Franzo with Flex Training Systems here, and today I wanted to highlight a point that was made by a lifter that you guys may or may not know. His name is Larry Wheels. Super strong, enhanced lifter, very open about his enhancements, and he recently got hurt at the U.S. Open, and he said something. And he gave he's just an example of something that I try to avoid, and I think that the way he kind of explained his situation and just owned up to the mistakes that he made and how he's going to come back from this injury was very mature of him, and I think there's a lot to take away from it. I think it's very I think it's awesome that he's putting this information out there and kind of sharing something that is viewed as so, detrimental or negative or just what people fear. For him to just put it out there and take us through that whole thought process was great. And there's 2 points I want to highlight. So a lot of you guys work with me, I know like most of you guys that work with me do listen to these videos. I do emphasize not dive bombing on your squats, especially if you're relatively lean, and Larry is unbelievably lean for as strong as he is. He straight up said, I dive bomb my squat with, I think it was close to 800 pounds, and he tore his quad. He also noted that in his training he's been inconsistent. Sometimes he would dive bomb, sometimes he would control on the way down, and it's just this is something that I try to, for as far as I can remember, try to emphasize with my lifters is that we have to control on the way down, especially guys in the smaller weight classes or the leaner guys, which is typically in the smaller weight classes. They get to a certain point where they're so strong, they can lift like crazy weight, but their body is not very big compared to the weight that they're lifting. So when they fall into the hole, you have all that weight. Maybe you're turning 550 pounds into 620 because you're just dropping so fast. When if you were to just take a big breath, brace, and control the weight on the way down, your body will kind of reverse for you. It's like a natural reflex, and it's not nearly. You can make a big weight much more manageable when you take your time and control. You also avoid any kind of serious injury. Which Larry made a point to do in the video, and also something else I wanted to highlight, which I think is so important, which I've gone through many times myself. If you guys have been following me, you guys don't know I've been through back, knee, shoulders have been good for the most part, but multiple times I've hurt my back, really jacked up my knees a while back, but I'm all good now, and I've been good for a while. But when you do go through those really tough injuries, you have to give your mind, we're powerlifters, right? We're always thinking about the next goal. What's the next PR? What's the next meet? This is also kind of a way to cope with post-meet blues, which is a whole nother video, but you just have to focus on the next goal that you are capable of completing that's going to help you progress or move forward. And what do I mean by that? So, obviously, Larry got hurt. He can't think about squatting 820, 850, 8 whatever. He's got to worry about taking the time off, doing whatever he needs to do to get healed, and then slowly coming back. So the you're still having that same laser focus on that goal, but it goes from squatting 800 pounds to walking or being able to do a bodyweight squat, and then squatting 135 for a set of 10, nice and easy, and then the next week moving up a little, the next week moving up a little. You're just changing your goals, but you can still aggressively attack that. You can still aggressively attack that situation with the same tenacity that you would just your training in general. You're just shifting the goals, and it's very rewarding when you go through something like this and you have a small setback, or I think Larry's going to come back from this 100%. I think he'll surpass all his old PRs and he'll be fine. So in the grand scheme, if you're looking at like a lifter's training timeline, let's say 20, 30 years, this is nothing. This is like he's just gonna look back at this, and it's gonna be one of those situations he got through, and it's gonna make him a stronger person because of it. I think his approach is intelligent. I think, just that I thought it was just so key for him to mention that, because it's something that I've gone through many times. Just shifting your goals. I've never actually put it into words. It's just, I can't focus on squatting heavy right now. Let me focus on this little thing. And somebody right now who you guys probably have heard of, Lane Norton. He's been through like a shit ton of injuries lately. Messed his back up, or messed his hip up, messed his neck up. And he says, I'm just gonna work on. Yeah, I got hurt, but I'll come back from this like everything else. And he's just gonna focus on, the different approach. And maybe his goal is not going to be increasing weight on his squat every week. Maybe it's just going to be making sure he does his rehab exercises, making sure he does his traction. I know that he does that for his neck. It can kind of help relieve pressure and kind of let the discs slide into place, and just doing all those things so that each day you're a little bit better than you were before, which is inevitably moving you toward the comeback or whatever it is. So yeah, the two main points of this video: control your squats on the way down, control heavy weight in general, and then when you do get hurt, it's not the end of the world. You just have to have that. If this is truly what you want, if this is what you want to do, you just have to change your goal from hitting that next PR to just being able to do what you can do. And like I said, you can still approach that goal with the same tenacity that you do your normal training. So shout out to Larry Wills. Some of you guys are probably surprised that I'm even giving a lifter like that attention, but we're all powerlifters. Whether you compete in the IPF or USPA, it doesn't really matter. We're all trying to get stronger, and the camaraderie in the sport is what I think makes it very, very special. Everybody's going to lift, everybody's going to get hurt, everybody's going to go through the ups and downs of powerlifting, and I think if you stick through it long enough, you will see how rewarding the sport can actually be. But yeah, hope you guys are able to take something away from that. If you did, go ahead and drop a like. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will talk to you in the next one.